Thomas Family Insurance is proud to present this week's Medicare Monday and offer you a position in a newly formed task force, TFI MISF. Thomas Family Insurance, Mission Impossible, Scam Force. The year is 2025. The United States has fallen under the grip of a sinister force, the telemarketer empire. Unchecked, unregulated, and unrelenting, they prey upon the most vulnerable, targeting innocent seniors with deceitful schemes, fraudulent offers, and endless, mind-numbing calls. The government is powerless against them. Law enforcement is overwhelmed. The people live in confusion and frustration until now. One man, Rick Thomas, leader of Thomas Family Insurance, refused to surrender. He has done the impossible, turned potential victims into the ultimate secret weapon. A resistance, a force unlike any other. This elite squad goes by one name, TFI MISF. Thomas Family Insurance, Mission Impossible, Scam Force. The mission? To turn the tables on the scammers, to infiltrate their ranks, disrupt their operations, and most importantly, waste their time. The more time spent on you, the less time they can have to scam another innocent senior. Every second counts. Every wasted moment is a victory. Welcome to the Resistance. Your training starts now, should you choose to accept the mission. You have been entrusted with a most daring mission, to infiltrate the dark empire of telemarketer deception and cause as much disruption as possible. Your work is vital, your efforts heroic, and your impact immeasurable. But should the tides turn, should you find yourself confused, overwhelmed, or lost in the labyrinth that is Medicare, know this: Thomas Family Insurance will never disavow you. Unlike telemarketers who prey on the vulnerable and disappear into the shadows, we will stand by our team, always. When the battle is too complex, when the choices seem impossible, when the fine print threatens to swallow you whole, we will be there, protecting, guiding, serving. You are not alone, and you will never be abandoned. Your goal is simple: drag out the conversation, confuse them, frustrate them, and ultimately make them regret ever dialing your number. Every single second on the phone with you will protect those who do not know better. Here are your top tactics. Objective 1. The hearing problem strategy. Simply put, saying you cannot hear them. Ask them to repeat everything. After they say it the third time, repeat it back to them, but say it wrong. The goal is to make them say every item no less than 6 times. Objective 2. The one more question loop. The goal is to keep the questions going. It is imperative to keep the questions close enough to keep them engaged. As you progress, you may make the questions more general, but by the time they hang up, it should be clear that you have been wasting their time the entire time. Objective 3. The endless story tactic. This is a more advanced tactic, but some of you are very gifted storytellers. Use that gift. Prepare no less than 3 stories that you can make last for 5 minutes each. However, never finish the story, but in the middle of one story, go to the beginning of another, and then go to the end of the third. Be sure to mix them all up. Do not use real information, but be creative and create distractions. This is for advanced agent use only. Objective 4. The bad connection gambit. This entry-level tactic simply relies on the caller thinking that you have a bad connection. Keep them hanging on. This can be used on any line, anywhere. Please note that this will not keep the bad guy on the phone for very long. They will probably seek out another victim sooner rather than later. Objective 5. The hold please maneuver. We have all been there. Make them feel the hold. Be creative. Say the next available victim is not available. Your estimated wait time is 10 to 15 minutes. We value your efforts to scam us. Objective 6. Distraction technique. Challenge them to a game of 20 questions. Say, before I can provide you any of that information, let's have some fun. What's my favorite food? Have a list prepared. Objective 7. The interested but first trap. This is only for the most advanced agents. Play along with them. They'll be drawn to you like a kitten to a ball of string. Keep them going. Make them think that you're interested, knowing, however, you are simply just wasting their time. Done correctly, this objective could keep the scam artist busy for hours. Objective 8. The fake identity plan. Under no circumstances should your cover ever be blown. Assume the identity of another and direct them to keep them on the phone as much as possible. Remember, protect your own identity at all cost. Objective 9. The grandkid translator. This works while you're watching those lovely grandchildren at home. Simply say something like, "My grandson Billy needs to speak with you first," and hand the phone over to the child. The child will be happy to speak with them. No grandchild near you? That's okay. Adapt and overcome. Take the identity of your imaginary grandson Billy. But remember, do not change your voice when you speak as Billy. This will continue to confuse the enemy. Objective 11. The dramatic suspense move. Say things like, "I've been waiting for you to call, but I have to be careful what I can say. They could be listening." Use deep, serious sounding voices to sound like you're in the middle of something classified. When they ask you a question, pause dramatically as if deciding whether or not you should trust them. And then repeat the question slowly before answering, as if you're trying to decode a hidden message. Whisper things like, "I don't have much time before they get here." Or, "Wait, you're not Agent 47, are you?" Or, "They told me this would happen. They said someone would call, but they said it was not supposed to be you." Be creative with this. Have some fun. Objective 12. The echo effect. Juvenile, but effective. All you're going to do is repeat everything they say. We all know these kids who did that in our past, and it drove us nuts. Use this tactic as a last resort when nothing else comes to mind. Objective 13. The language barrier. Speak nonsense or mix up words so they do not have the correct meaning. Keep them guessing. Create a fake accent. Say things like, "I don't know the English word for this, but in Klingon, it's yinger yapper. Do you know what I mean?" Objective 14. The singing response. Now, this is not to be used for anybody who can actually carry a tune. The worse singing has more power. Songs to keep in mind: the YMCA, "Hello" by Lionel Richie, "I'm All Shook Up" by Elvis, or any other song you can sing along. When in doubt, the ABC song will get the job done. Objective 15. The celebrity fan approach. Confuse them with a celebrity. Have several prepared. Speak to them as if that celebrity is actually calling you. Be excited. It's not every day you get a call from the king of rock and roll. Objective 16. The confused senior act. Yes, I know this is not an act for a lot of seniors, but this is exactly what they're preying on. Use that against them. Act as confused as possible. Ask random questions that have nothing to do with what they're talking about. When they don't respond well, ask to speak to the manager for clarification. You want to waste the manager's time also. Objective 17. The time traveler ploy. Pick a date and time and pretend that you are there. For example, if they ask about a car warranty, say, "I don't know what a car is, but my horse does need some new shoes." Say something like, "I can't believe you would call me on the day that JFK was shot. How dare you?" Pick a timeline you're familiar with, or do some research and come up with some creative ideas. Objective 18. The paranoid conspiracy. It's not paranoia if they're really out to get you. So, say things like, "I can't talk right now." They're listening. Use code words like, "The rooster has laid an egg." I repeat, the rooster has laid an egg. Say, "There's no stopping the program. They have all the key players. We're doomed." Anything to keep them on the line. Objective 19. The overly friendly neighbor strategy. Evil telemarketers are people too. Even they had parents and grandparents. Kill them with kindness. Be so ever happy that they called and asked them how the kids are and what did the uncle ever do with the three-legged cat. Did they ever find that leg? Be creative, but act happy to talk to them. Objective 20. The Grandmaster Scam. Turn the tables back on them. Ask for their personal information. Reassure them that you're not a criminal and this is not a scam. You just need their personal information for identification purposes. As a note, don't actually collect the information because they're probably going to give you information they stole from a previous caller. The mission is never over. As long as there are scammers calling, we will keep fighting. But you are no longer just a Medicare beneficiary. You are now a defender of justice. Every second you waste of their time is a second they cannot scam a senior without the protection of the TFI. There are millions who need our help, and that makes you a hero. So pick up that phone. Do not allow it to go to voicemail. Prepare your responses. Train in all matters of Operation Time Waster. Prepare now for that phone call that can occur at any moment, any time of day. Make them regret every decision that led them to this path of them becoming a telemarketer. Waste their time. Taking on the evil empire is a high priority, but there are some tasks which could have a higher priority and should take precedence. Things like watching the paint dry, or writing a letter to an editor about how things used to be better in 1962, or figure out what TikTok is and decide that it's still not worth it. There'll be many other options for you to review on the video. Pause as needed. Make a list of all the lists that you need to make. Attempt to parallel park in your driveway. Set up a lemonade stand, but only sell prune juice. You get the idea. Learn some magic tricks and try to impress nobody. Host a dinner party, but only serve Jell-O with some fruit in it. Yell bingo at a crowded room and watch everybody go nuts. You can teach your dog how to answer scam calls for you, rearrange your living room furniture and forget where you put everything, or just go to a fast food restaurant and go through the drive-thru and request a napkin only. Try to invent a new handshake with your cat, or call your landline from your cell phone and be shocked when it rings. Literally, anything else can be more important than talking to a telemarketer. But when you have nothing else going on, waste as much of their time as you can. This has been your Medicare Monday from Thomas Family Insurance. As a reminder, Medicare will never call you. Listen for that bloop and prepare yourself to take the fight to them. Make it a game. Keep score. The longer the phone call, the more points you get. Bonus points are available if you get them to use profanity. Enjoy your time, or just hang up on them. Thank you very much. God bless. Remember, we're here to help in all things Medicare. This message will self-destruct in 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Prepare yourself. You are prepared. God bless.